Hi, PerspectaWeather.com. Meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday afternoon, February 7th. A lot to talk about this afternoon. We have a very active weather pattern unfolding, and there is reason to believe there will be lots of cold air around in the eastern U.S. during this active weather pattern, and certainly that could result in some substantial wintry precipitation in the mid-Atlantic region, in the northeast U.S. in coming days. Specifically, it looks like next week there are multiple threats to deal with, and we'll talk about those over the next several minutes. First of all, one reason to believe there will be a lot of cold air around is what is forecasted to happen to the Madden-Julian oscillation. I refer to this occasionally here at PerspectaWeather.com, and it is a tropical disturbance that propagates around the global region, the global tropics, and the particular phase of the MJO has been found to result in certain temperature patterns in the U.S., for example, and it appears as if the MJO, or the Madden-Julian oscillation, is headed into cold phases for the eastern part of the U.S. This is a forecast map from this week going out to the early part of March for the MJO, from the European model, actually the ensemble run of the European model. And one way to follow this particular type of map is the green shows the forecast, and it generally goes in a counterclockwise direction. So over the next few weeks, it's going through phase 8, through phase 1, through phase 2, and finally by the early part of March into phase 3. On the weather website right now, on the home page, of a posting of the composite temperature anomalies expected for these particular phases this time of the year. And let me just say, phase 8, phase 1, phase 2 of the MJO in February generally result in colder than normal conditions in much of the eastern U.S., and that is indeed what is the forecast for the European model. And even the NOAA GFS models are insinuating that the MJO will indeed go through those cold phases over the next few weeks. Well, in addition to the colder than normal conditions that could be expected over the next few weeks for an extended period of time, according to the MJO phase prediction by the European model, in addition to that, we have a lot of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere, with wave after wave moving in from the Pacific Ocean, slamming into the west coast, and then basically moving from a general west to east fashion across the country. And it looks like this pattern, this active pattern, will continue next week and present a couple of different chances for wintry precipitation in the mid-Atlantic region. Perhaps the biggest threat comes on the day Tuesday into Tuesday night. We'll talk about that over the next few minutes. Here's where we stand right now, early afternoon on Thursday, from the forecast maps using the very latest, the 12Z version of the GFS model. We have a very vigorous area of upper level energy here over the middle part of the country. That is producing some wintry precipitation out there, but here in the east we are generally running at above normal in terms of temperatures. Now, the main impact of this particular wave of energy as it moves to the north and east over the next couple of days will be to usher in a very chilly air mass for this time of the year into the northeastern U.S. Basically, it'll help to swing a strong cold front through the area. So let's move forward. We have a chance for some shower activity later today, tonight, early tomorrow in the mid-Atlantic region, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm or two. But basically, by tomorrow afternoon, this vigorous area in the upper part of the atmosphere will help to swing a strong cold front through the mid-Atlantic region. Winds will kick up tomorrow afternoon, sunshine will return, and temperatures will drop probably from early morning highs in the 50s through the 40s during the afternoon, way down into the 20s by late tomorrow night. Now, one thing you may notice, this is a Friday afternoon forecast map. Look out west here. We have a couple different waves of energy. Here is one about to slam into the central part of California. Another vigorous area of energy is just starting to show up at this time in the Pacific Northwest. Now, let's keep moving forward here. These two waves of energy will be present some problems here for the Mid-Atlantic region during the early part of next week. We get into the cold air mass following the frontal passage on Friday. Basically a quiet, Dry but cold weekend coming with afternoon temperatures on both days confined to the 30s in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, despite plenty of sunshine each day. But this particular wave of energy first hits California with coastal rains and Sierra Nevada snows. By the way, the Sierra Nevadas have just been absolutely inundated with heavy snow in recent days and weeks, several feet over the past several days. This will add to the piling on in the Sierra Nevada mountain range of eastern California. And watch as it generally moves from west to east over the next several days, over the next few days, I should say. By the way, this second wave of energy will slam the Pacific Northwest with snow in unusual places perhaps as well. The Seattle area, for example, could get substantial snow over the next few days. Meanwhile, watch wave number 1 here. By the time it gets to the Great Lakes on Sunday night, there'll be a lot of cold air around and could throw some light, generally light snow Sunday night into early Monday in the I-95 corridor region of D.C. and Philadelphia, perhaps as far north as New York City. This next wave of energy, though, is a stronger wave, presents more of a problem, a bigger threat in the Tuesday time frame here. So let's move forward here and see what happens here. At this particular time here, by Monday afternoon, we'll have very strong high pressure building across southeastern Canada. I've always mentioned how important it is to have strong cold high pressure anchored in southeastern Canada for any kind of a snowstorm in the I-95 corridor region. Indeed, we will have such a strong cold high pressure system building in southeastern Canada early next week. Here's our next wave of energy. It starts to head towards the northeast into the Great Lakes region. Now here we are by Tuesday morning. Again, we'll have strong high pressure in this area. I believe an initial wave of low pressure may indeed head up towards the eastern part of the Great Lakes, but a secondary wave of low pressure should start to form along the mid-Atlantic coastline. The exact interplay of those two systems are yet to be determined and certainly will be crucial to what ends up falling on Tuesday in the I-95 corridor region. Lots of cold air will be in place. It could be a scenario where if this becomes the dominant player, we have accumulating snow, followed by some ice, followed by some rain. If the mid-Atlantic coastal low takes over quickly, that would lead to more snow and a colder overall solution. But let's just keep moving forward here. I wanted to point out that not only do we have that wave of energy, wave number 2 as I call it, we have another wave slamming into the west coast towards the latter part of next week right here. This is next Thursday, a week away, February 14th, yet another strong wave of energy about to hit California. That could ultimately have a big impact here in the Mid-Atlantic region. So lots of upper level energy to deal with over the next 7 days or so. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps by the very latest, the 12Z GFS model run. Mainly dry here in the Mid-Atlantic region right now, but we have that strong cold frontal system right in here by late tonight, early tomorrow, throwing some showers our way, maybe even isolated a thunderstorm or two. And here's that cold front by early tomorrow. We'll know when the front is passed. The winds will pick up quite noticeably in the afternoon tomorrow on Friday. There will be increasing amounts of sunshine and temperatures will drop. Here we go. By Saturday morning, we have cold high pressure over the upper part of the Midwest and northern plains. Very chilly air mass, below normal temperatures this weekend. Certainly a struggle to pass the freezing mark in some parts of the I-95 corridor region around Philadelphia, for example, New York City. Now, let's continue to move forward here into the day on Sunday. Here we go, Sunday morning, strong cold high pressure right on top of the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, generally a quiet weekend, cold and dry with plenty of sunshine. But here comes wave number 1 that I refer to it as on the current posting on the weather website. That'll throw some snow into the Ohio Valley by late Sunday. And then the GFS does not have much here, and I don't believe it'll be a heavy precipitation event, this initial wave here coming Sunday night, early Monday. But certainly there can be some snow in the I-95 corridor from wave number 1, Sunday night, early Monday. Then out west, wave number 2 is already having an impact, and the western higher elevation regions have had a lot of snow in recent days as well, just like the Sierra Nevada out there. But here we go, by Monday afternoon, late Monday, early Tuesday. Look at this, 1041 millibar high pressure system situated in intensifying high pressure area over southeastern Canada by early Tuesday, setting up the damming, cold air damming. When you see the isobars kind of setting up in this kind of a pattern here, that is indicative of cold air sliding down along the east coast on the east side of the Appalachians. Very strong high pressure, always a key player. Here we go now by Tuesday morning. Snow breaks out from, let's say, DC northward, and even some heavier snow breaks out later in the day, as depicted by the very latest GFS model run. Still several days to go. Now, here's that initial wave of low pressure headed to the Great Lakes region. If that remains the dominant player for a while before a secondary starts to form, it very well could change from snow to ice to rain, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line. Here we are. Notice low pressure starting to form here over the mid-Atlantic coastline. Ice across Philadelphia. It's still snowing at this time Tuesday evening over New York City, but rain at this time in D.C. But there will be, according to this model run, accumulating snow before that changeover. So still many questions to be answered. We're still several days away. Two waves to watch in the early and middle part of next week. The first wave could throw some snow Sunday night, early Monday into the I-95 corridor. Probably not a heavy precipitation event. Again, stay tuned on that. But then a stronger system looks like it'll have an impact late Monday night or Tuesday morning into Tuesday night, perhaps even early Wednesday. That has the potential to throw substantial precipitation into the mid-Atlantic region, perhaps accumulating snow followed by ice and ultimately by rain. Still several days to go. Stay tuned over the next few days to PerspectaWeather.com for some updates. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.